Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Jeff, and today we're going over all of the cool features of my 1984 Porsche 944. If you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and smash that like button for me. I'd really appreciate it. But let's get started with feature number one. So we're sitting in the passenger seat of my 1984 Porsche 944, and the first feature is this. There's a Porsche crest on the glove box, but that's not just any Porsche crest. If we push that to the side, look at this. There's actually a lock for the glove box, so you can actually lock the contents of this if you chose to do so. So I think that's a pretty cool feature, because who doesn't want more Porsche crests in their car anyways, right? Okay, so our next feature requires us to start the car, so the 944 is running, and you actually put the key in the ignition on the right side, which is a little bit different because typically Porsche will have the ignition on the left side. So when you're participating in a race like Le Mans, when you run to your car, you're able to put the key in the ignition and start it with your left hand while grabbing a gear with your right. But that's not the case of the 944, even though this car did have a racing variant that actually participated in several different races. The next thing I want to show you is the tach. If you'll look at the tach, you'll notice it actually flows like this. And that's a very unique feature because when you rev your car, you can see the needle goes down as opposed to revving up and over like most cars do. And the reason for that is because Porsche thought about the steering wheel. Now, typically this car comes with a 380mm steering wheel, which is very big, would definitely cover that. I've since replaced it with a Momo 350, but that's important because you can see your RPMs, which we all know is the most important thing in a race car. And that allows you to better know when you're going to be shifting your car. So that's a really cool feature that is specific to the 944, but it's even more exciting in early cars like this that have the different gauge cluster. Our next feature is something every 80s car needs, and that's pop-up headlights. Check this out. Okay, so our next feature is pop-up headlights. How cool are these? Nothing gets better than your classic 80s pop-up headlights. These look absolutely fantastic, and they make the body line look very nice when the headlights are down, and I think it's a nice, cool, quirky feature to have while driving at night when the headlights are up. It's just a really cool thing to have, and it's fun to play with. The next feature I want to show you is right here. It's this 944 piece. This is actually called a heck blend, and it's not a piece that's normally added from the factory. This is actually something that gets added by dealerships, and it has a cool German name as a piece that sort of fits the fascia between your rear taillights. You'll find it in all sorts of things, mostly German cars, things like BMWs, Mercedes, and Porsches in this case. On 944s, I've seen them say turbo, Porsche. In my case, this one says 944, but I thought it's a pretty cool feature, and now you know that it actually has a name, heck blend. How cool is that? One of the crazy things about the 944 is these door handles. Very unconventional. They feature these little parts here, which is actually called a trigger, and that's what you're going to be pulling on whenever you open the door. So you go ahead and pull back on the trigger, and that opens up the door. Unfortunately, that's something that can actually break pretty frequently, as it's only held in with a cotter pin. But I have since gone through my car and actually replaced the driver's side because I bought it non-working, and now it works beautifully, and you get all of the benefits to that. An additional feature while we're here with the door would actually be how good this sounds. Here's some door ASMR for you. Look at that, 2 features in 1. That's good stuff. This is kind of 2 features in 1. This is our transaxle, which sits below the rear in the back of the car. And it's actually a 5-speed manual transmission or transaxle, which what that means is this car is a manual with a clutch, and that's one of the coolest things in a day and age where the manual transmission is quickly fading from existence. It's cool that you can buy a 944 which comes with a manual transaxle. Another cool benefit of the transaxle is the fact that this provides a near perfect 50-50 weight distribution to the car. This car will feel very balanced, and it's very lightweight, coming in at around 2,600 pounds, making this car a pleasure to drive, and the transaxle is a really cool experience. Now, I will say I do recommend getting a short shifter, as this can sometimes feel a little weighty because you do have a series of mechanical bars that run from the shifter linkage in the cabin to the back of the transaxle. Okay, so with that, that's the end of the video. I just wanted to show you guys some of my favorite features and why I think the 944 is a very special vehicle, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Whether you already own a 944 or you're interested in purchasing one, feel free to throw any questions below. I'll be more than happy to answer them about the 944 or anything else. And if you go ahead and smash that like button for me, I'd really appreciate it, and get subscribed for more content like this in the future. If you have any recommendations, feel free to throw them below, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching.